In general, the survival horror genre has been fading away for the past few years thanks to the numerous action titles as RPG, adventure, first-person shooters, and so on. I remember back in the 90s and early 2000s when big names like Silent Hill and Resident Evil racked the nerves of young gamers and was a nightmare for mom and dad's wallet. Thanks to the well-renowned game designer Shinji Mikami, fear was the greatest motivator, but not by modern-day obstacles or unforeseen consequences called life, but the fear of losing your life. Fear of losing your chance not getting to know what happens next. Fear of not letting that godforsaken monster entity programmed to murder you. Fear of the unknown. Fear of not having the resources to carry on. Now that was survival horror back in the day for video games, and Shinji is back with the latest chapter of the horror genre. Will he have what it takes to rack our nerves one last time, or shall this title stay amongst the dead? Well, let's dissect the innards of this game and take out, analyze the story, graphics, and overall gameplay to see what makes this project come alive. Now, before we get to the nitty-gritty, we need to share some of the history of Shinji Mikami, who played a major role in the days of horror survival genre. He was involved since the beginning and peak of the Resident Evil series, plus other projects like Dino Crisis and Outbreak. He's been doing other action-packed games like Vanquish, Killer 7, and has been away from the horror franchise since 2005, except for The Shadows of the Damned, which he co-produced and does not count. He is definitely well known for the production and design of Resident Evil 4, which is known to be the best and the height of the RE series. His comeback resonates and echoed throughout his previous work onto this current project, and it shows. The story revolves around Sebastian Castellanos, who is a veteran police detective accompanied by his two partners, Julie Kidman and Joseph Oda, who are at the scene of a mass murder taking place at the Beacon Asylum. Just minutes within the game, a powerful, unmovable force strikes them hard and out of nowhere. They are hurled into a nightmare-like rabbit hole, and the answers seem to be spiraling downward into the unknown. The story does grab you from the beginning, and it just forces you to move on because you really want to know what's happening in those WTF moments, and let me tell you, there's quite a few of those. Even though the story towards the end of the game kinda crumbles a bit, just the true horror in the beautiful crafted environments, enemies, and traps truly take the cake. It's also funny to notice that the protagonist loves to state the obvious. Even when you're on chapter 5 and 6, when you slay various monsters and chainsaw maniacs, he states, "There's something wrong with this place." No shit, Sherlock. No wonder you're a detective. Anyways, if the story does not scare you or is of no importance, the monsters and environments with the situations they put you through are way more than enough. Now I have to admit, the graphics were horrible because I made the mistake of playing the game while it was downloading without the day one patch. This is with the PS4 and the Xbox One. Make sure that you download the game completely, and if not, it will look choppy like a PS3 game. No kidding. I was greatly disappointed, and I did not know until the game magically updated and installed the patch further down my playthrough. Once that's done, the game looks beautiful. The lights and the shading give a perfect dreary outlook in certain tense situations. The gore also has texture, and it looks thick once you blow off the head of any baddie while it sticks to your clothes. There are beautiful levels and daylight landscapes which gives a feel that terror has no boundaries. Night or day, no matter what, you are not safe around any corner. The gameplay is an over-the-shoulder third-person survival horror. If you have played Resident Evil 4 like I explained earlier, then you're right at home. The aiming is precise, and the item swapping is pretty tight once you set that up. You can also upgrade Sebastian's abilities and weapons once you collect this green jar liquid which are scattered throughout all the levels. You must know that this game does not include the macho suplexes or the spinning roundhouses like Leon Kennedy in RE4. Once the enemy grabs you, it has the get out of my face action like when you're trying to push away your grandma when she tries to smother you with lovely wet kisses. Simply horrifying. You just frantically try to wiggle your way out of any situation with the minimum ammunition that you have. I got to admit, some areas were tough. Once you reach that certain difficulty, the game will test you. Every obstacle you overcome feels like a mini victory. Although there are some traps, puzzles, areas that have no sense and no way of knowing what to choose or do. You just simply die instantly from time to time. In these cases, it's just sheer luck or the process of elimination to claim your victory. And now for the verdict. And to be honest, I thoroughly enjoyed this game. It can take around 20 to 24 hours to beat, which is a pretty good length. Now, if you're looking for a game that is innovative or raises the bar in gameplay, then you'll be very disappointed. This game does not have slow motion shooting, no multiplayer, no exotic gear, no loot caves, and no nemesis system, and so on. But if you're looking to return to a survival horror's roots and you want to remember how it feels like to get your head ripped off a chainsaw, then this is your game. And there is no one other like Shinji Mikami to take that wheel and also to take you on a ride that you'll never forget. So enjoy, and this is Charlie signing off.